Why is Houston so successful? And do you sense that they sort of get an energy boost just from him going out of the game?
Hold on, Steven. I don't want nobody to try to split us up. We all one team. Regardless if I go to the bench, if Steven's on the floor, if I'm off the floor, we in this together. Don't split us up. Don't try to split us up. Don't try to make us go against each other. Try to make it against Russell and the rest of the guys. Russell against Houston. I don't want to hear that. We in this together. We playing as a team, and that's all that matters. That's it.
Yeah, Russell, I'm not trying to split you up, but twice in 3 games, you guys have not played well at all when you've gone to the bench.
That's fine.
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
Say Russell, you ain't played well at all. Say Russell and the team haven't played well. Don't say when Russell goes out, the team don't play well. It don't matter. We in this together.
That may be, Russell, but I asked Steven a question, and it's a legitimate.
Me and you. Next question.
It's a legitimate question.
Next question. Next question.
Well,
Next question.
no, I think we're going to keep the microphone. I had a question for Steven, and it wasn't answered. And I don't understand if Steven wants to say he still hadn't said anything. If he wants to say I don't want to answer that, fine. But
Next question, please.
There's no English, I think.
Okay. I'll ask my next question, Russell. By the way, does anyone feel bad for Steven Adams having to sit there?
Oh, man, he could have said something.
Yeah. He looked like a child.
He could have
He's a grown
that
man,
situation.
yeah.
He sat there as if he didn't know English. He just sat there. He was like,
Okay,
confused.
wait, let me ask the question. And I'll start with you, Dan.
Okay.
Was Russell Westbrook too sensitive?
Well, I don't know if it's sensitive.
Just say yes.
First of all, it reminds
say
me,
no.
that press conference reminds me of 4 years ago, the original press conference when we announced the hangout, when Akil and I sat at the table and I could not get a word in.
Did this happen?
And it's been
That's
4
shocking.
years of not
That's
being able to get a
shocking,
word.
man.
Look, Westbrook, this guy has to do everything. He has to get the points, the assists, the rebounds, and every word in all the interviews. Like, Russ, let the dude answer the question, man.
When I saw this, I saw Steven Adams and I thought Stockholm Syndrome.
Wow.
He's sitting there and he can't say anything. And not only that, I can't take someone seriously who dresses like a clown that habitually.
Wow.
The guy's,
Shots fired.
The guy's wearing a cowboy bandana. He's like a little child being like, you guys can't talk to Steven, that's my friend. You can't talk to him. Mom, it's very like, this guy's used to getting what he wants. He's a ball hog. He might get MVP, I don't know what you think. But ultimately, that's what I felt. It was just, he's just yammering, MC Yammer. It was too much.
I get what he's saying. He's trying to protect it. He's trying to, we're all a team. This is the playoffs and yada, yada, whatever. He's heard it all season. But at the same time, coming from a reporter perspective, I've been in that situation where the newsroom asked you got asked this question, and it was a legitimate question. Steven Adams could have easily said, yeah, you know what, we can't replace Russ, because you can't replace Russ. Nope. It was an easy answer. Just give the guy what he wanted. Shout out to the reporter, though, because he kept going at it.
He was adamant, yeah.
He probably took it too far himself, though. Just give it up. He's not answering the question.
Well, but the fact that Russ was interrupting was answering the question, so he kind of had to push it and see how far Russ was going to take it.
Shouts out to Barry Tremble of the Oklahomans.
Is that who it is?
Yeah, because he's holding Russ accountable. And I think one thing that we don't factor in sometimes is if you don't set the standard that you're going to ask a tough
100%.
question and make him answer, he's going to bully that whole press conference.
That's true. That's what people don't understand, too, behind the scenes, because a lot of people will be like, oh, that reporter's completely wrong. Like, no, you got a job to do at the same time, and that affects the whole atmosphere, the whole dynamic.
When did they go in this direction of there's always 2 or 3 guys at the podium?
It's been like that for a while.
Kids.
Well, it used to be.
With the kids.
Why can't it just be with one guy?
Russell,
you do your interview with Russ, he leaves, and then you bring in Steven Adams. Why does it always have to be 2 guys
I don't think
together
these guys
now?
want to be waiting for one another to begin an interview.
well-
Personally, like I said, that was Russell with his child, Steven Adams.
Continuing the long-standing NBA tradition of bringing your kids to the press conference.
Yes.
Quickly, though, another interesting thing that came out of that game, Andre Roberson, professional basketball player, makes money for making buckets. 2 for 12 from the free throw line. How come Roberson, in effect, Billy Donovan, say he wants to stick with his guys, allowed this atrocity to continue? Thoughts on Roberson staying in the game? Would you have pulled him out, Evan, earlier?
Honestly, I like Billy Donovan. I like his Dragon Ball Z Vegeta haircut, but that was horrible coaching. This guy's the second worst free throw percentage in the league, and he left him in the game. And you can see D'Antoni being like, really? Like, I'm going to have to do this again? Like, really? And they lost them the game.
It could have done damage to his ego, Roberson's ego, right?
It could have, but he didn't play
Rockets
defense.
bench is laughing at him. It was killing his ego, for
He's
sure.
Guys there to play defense and to shoot the occasional 3, which he shoots better than free throws, which is crazy. But he should have been yanked. I mean, that guy is paid millions of dollars. Take him out of the game.
Okay. Some guys aren't paid the money
To shoot.
to shoot buckets, as you just said. Robertson, which is how his name's pronounced,
My bad.
is not. He is not a good.
your show,
he is not a good free throw shooter. He is what he is. He's not a good shooter. He's out there. He's paid to guard the other team, and they were having at that point a lot of success against them. So it wasn't just a cut and dry black and white decision for Donovan to make. If he takes him out, he's losing some of that impact on the defensive end.
Okay. Oh, no, sorry. I really want to get to this Boston series quickly before we go to break because we're running out of time. They were down 0-2 at home. They lost both games. Now they've won 2 straight. What has been the one thing you think, Nabil Karim, that has switched the momentum in this series?
Rajon Rondo.
Thank you.
Rajon Rondo.
The only
it's
answer
not
I'll
the
accept.
comments. It's not all those comments he made. Is Rajon Rondo not physically being on the court anymore?
Yes.
He is a great player when he wants to be, and he knows how to win the playoffs. People forget that this guy's got a ring too.
Dan Glavine has a beef with Rajon Rondo. Doesn't seem.
He's got beef with a lot of people.
Honestly, Dan.
Nobody has beef with me, though. No one.
wanna
I
hear-
can't find anybody.
I want to hear.
Look,
What's your beef with Rajon?
Look,
Yes, you're right. I do have.
I just don't think. I don't think he's performed over the last few years for
for
several
sure.
teams he could have helped. But in this series, unquestionably,
In the Garden.
him not being there, it is the difference, and it tilted the scales back towards Boston.
They got Isaiah Cannon now starting.
Yeah, no, that it's a horrible bad break for the Bulls, no doubt.
Evan, thoughts? What was your swing state in this series?
It was that. I mean, if you watch him playing, he was lights out.
So the Gerald Green substitution doesn't move the needle for you?
No, and I would say a little bit. Isaiah, he did recover from the tragic loss of his sister, but ultimately,
He claims he's not even there anymore. Still, he's still out.
That's a crazy situation on its own, man.
it's
That
insanity.
is unbelievable.
Yeah, but ultimately, it was Rajon Rondo because he was playing prime vintage. Like he did lead the lead in assists. Was it last year or the year before for Sacto?
You're right.
He's
It was 2
he's
years ago.
still crazy good, and when he
Absolutely
wants
right.
to play back in his old digs, he was just like.
Oh, the good old Toronto Dominion Garden in Boston. No doubt. All right, time to wrap up this segment of the show. Still more to come. Special shout out, though, to the Trailblazers social media team. Their team took a whooping in the 4-game series against the Warriors, but they did some creative stuff. In Game 4, they had to keep fans abreast of the score of the game. It went from a lot. Halftime, they said they had more. At the end of the third quarter, it was 80 to enough. Man, shouts out to them. Brilliance. Hang 'em!